Hello, my name is Sydney Philpott, and today we're going to be talking about dual enrollment, which, for those of you who don't know, is a program for high school students that allows them to take college classes before they graduate high school, which is awesome. They get to take, college classes at a discounted rate and get credits before they graduate, and I personally am a fan of it because I'm working towards my associate's degree before graduation, so it's a great program, and it sounds awesome just on the surface, but here's a little more information about it before we dive too far into things. So, dual enrollment is a program that exists almost in every state to some degree or another, and here in Idaho, there's a lot around dual enrollment. So, from the Idaho legislature in 2016, there's House Bill 458, which outlines Idaho dual enrollment laws and everything that students are able to do. And a part of that bill is the opportunity for advanced opportunity funding, which gives every student in Idaho $4,125 to use towards dual enrollment classes or AP tests and that kind of thing, so that students are able to get college credits while they're still in high school. So dual enrollment seems like a perfect opportunity, and there's a lot of studies out there, such as Are Dual Enrollment Students College Ready by Ann and Taylor from Arizona State University, that show that dual enrollment does in fact make students more college ready and better prepares them for college. However, there are also studies out there and articles, such as an article written by Ken Smith of Sam Houston State University that discusses the darker side of dual enrollment. It says students come to college having taken prerequisite classes or things like that they passed, but now they're failing when they get to college because they go to take other classes and they don't have the background knowledge that they need to succeed because they had high school teachers that gave them passing grades in college level classes that they didn't necessarily deserve. So I started to wonder a lot about this, and I wanted to get an educator's viewpoint. So I interviewed a high school teacher named Mr. Caban, who has experience teaching dual credit classes, and I also interviewed a previous faculty member of a Washington Community College named Mr. Cadwell, who was a professor and a board member for the school, and he's very familiar with dual enrollment as well. So I just want to take you through some of those interviews and show you what they said, what their opinions are, and how educators view dual enrollment. So I started my interview process by talking to Mr. Caban, and the first thing I asked him was what are some pros and cons that he usually sees with dual enrollment classes.
I think the major pro is that it saves students money, or parents for that matter, money, for those kids that are going to go on to college, just because the cost for college is increased, and so per credit hour is just a lot more expensive. And now that they're able to take concurrent credit classes in high school at a lower rate, and also the state of Idaho has given them upwards of $4,000 in a piggy bank for them to use. If they don't use it, then oh well. If they do use it, great. And so I've had students who have taken total advantage of it. Recent graduates from the last 2 years that went into college with already an AA, and so they're going to be graduating early, and so it saves the parents just an absolute ton of money in the long run. And it also helps the student, because not all students get their college paid for by their parents or other scholarships and things of that nature. They have to pay it themselves. They have to work full-time jobs while they're going to college, and therefore they need to be able to lower the cost any way they can. And so that's the big pro.
Now, when talking to Mr. Cadwell, he said that when his own kids were going through high school, he urged them away from honors, anything that was an honors level class that wasn't AP, because of the fact that they're held to higher standards, so then their grades may suffer, and without a weighted GPA that AP gives, students who take higher level classes could end up with lower GPAs than students who take normal classes. Something else he said was that through his experience with working with college professors, that they're not exactly fans of dual enrollment, because they have teachers in high school with less credentials than themselves that are able to teach the exact same material and get paid for it by the college, but they don't have to have as much status or background or education in order to teach these classes. Well, when I brought this up in my interview with Mr. Caban, he let me know that dual enrollment teachers do have to have a master's degree now in Idaho if they want to teach dual enrollment classes, and they also have to create a portfolio that has to be approved by the college. However, he said it's not nearly as challenging to teach dual enrollment as it is to actually become a college professor. Then continuing with my interview with Mr. Caban, we dove into more of the cons of dual enrollment.
The con in regards to concurrent credit isn't really the students, it's more the teachers in that particular realm. And I say that mainly because if a teacher isn't passionate about teaching it, then it's not really fair to those students, unfortunately. They signed up for a class to be pushed. If you're going to teach it like you teach your regular class, well, that's a con more on the teacher than it is the student. The pro for them is the fact that, well, they didn't have to be pushed as hard and they received the college credit. It's not fair, but I don't see a teenager that's going to not like that. But that is the major con. It's more comes back to us teachers. We have to stay true to the contracts that we sign with those colleges, to the syllabuses that the entry-level freshman professors set up, that we make sure that that we're just teaching above and beyond. And so that's where there's where a lot of gray area is.
The final thing that I did to wrap up my interview with Mr. Caban was ask him about where he sees room for improvement in the dual enrollment program.
I think that the high school teachers need to shadow more, perhaps, the college professors. It's just there's a certain style that we all wish to teach our concurrent credit classes at. And a lot of us draw that style from our own personal experience from college, whomever our professors were, and we try to mimic or imitate. But at times, personally, we need to take our time out of our day, if it's for professional development or whatever the case may be. And there just needs to be a little bit more of a bridge between the professors at those universities that would teach those courses and the high school teacher that is teaching that course, so that the student, because it's all about the student, so that the student can benefit, so that when they do graduate from high school and they do step onto a university campus, they're ready for it. There isn't going to be much of a difference between me teaching government or history and their professor their first 2 years that's teaching them government or history. So that's the purpose of concurrent credit. And so that would be the major thing. I would like to see a little bit more communication, a little bit more opportunities in regards to being able to shadow a professor.
So in the end, through all this research and my primary sources, I was able to find out that there are, in fact, downfalls to dual enrollment, but it's kind of a hit or miss because there could be really amazing teachers who give a full college rigor to dual enrollment classes, but there also can be teachers that fall short, and then they consequently make students very unprepared when they get to college. So, there's a lot of things to think about, but also, in the end, dual enrollment is an amazing program, and that was something that was unanimous through my interviewers, is that while there is issues, it's really hard to, say that it's a bad thing when students can pay for college, or they can basically get college classes done for free, and they can save their parents a lot of money and themselves a lot of money, and they can get a lot of things accomplished sooner in life, and it's a really great program. However, seeing the troubles with dual enrollment from the perspectives that I researched for this assignment was, I just wondered, had I heard all of this before I started participating in dual enrollment, would it have changed my decision to participate? Would information like this make other students reconsider their choice to do dual enrollment? So, there's something.